And for our third game of Christmas, Wood Oak City, casualties 3,000, wounded 80,000. It is the year 19XX. Rakushin, or element 122, has been discovered by Dr. Gilbert. This element emits a massive amount of radiation as it decays. Harnessed as a weapon, this element caused the worst disaster in history. Yup. Tonight's perfect playthrough is Bare Knuckle 3, or Streets of Rage 3 here in the US. The two games have drastically different stories, by the way. Axel, check out these clippings. An enormous Rakushin explosion in Wood Oak City has left 30,000 dead and 80,000 wounded. Sources reveal that a large cache of the chemical has vanished from Syndicate-operated Kaya Research Institute. Are they responsible for this crime? Mysteriously, General Petrov has been missing since the devastating event. Is there a cabal to start conflict between the Lima nations? You must sign these two cases, Axel. Your partner, Blaze. And yep, perfect playthrough of Streets of Rage 3. Hi everyone, I'm Mike Gordon. And I'm going to play this on easy because this game, even the Japanese version, is pretty bloody hard. Like, this was the only way I could get anywhere close to an hour runtime. I'm just showing off the stats, and Axel's basically the main character of this series, and I never got to play as him before. Rakushin will explode. Urge it that you come. Location is South Pier Warehouse. Location is South Pier Warehouse. The fact they had to write that twice is kind of... Yeah, and this game definitely is definitely a tense story-wise. Hey, we got here just in time. We barely stopped Wood Oak's second tragedy from happening. Whew, that was a close call. If we'd been 3 seconds there, I shiver just thinking about it. Please, can you send a message to Adam? There was a Rakushin bomb here, just like Zan, the scientist from the Syndicate, told us. Dismantle it carefully. Then start looking for the second one. Doesn't look like we have any time to rest. Those punks are coming this way. Yeah, this is much more story-oriented. Streets of Rage 3 has a very different plot involving robots taking the place of people. They completely removed the terrorist or element from the game. And additionally, the US Streets of Rage 3 jacked the difficulty up from the Japanese release. The original Japanese version of this game, easy is still difficult, but very, very manageable on easy difficulty. But in the US and PAL regions, when it's called Streets of Rage 3, they made the easy mode harder than the Japanese normal mode. Sorry. And they locked out the other 3 endings. And added a 4th one, telling you to play on a higher difficulty. And this is a pretty long game, all things considered. Some new quality of life changes. You can dash, you can roll. You have a bar that you can charge up your the OK meter that you can just charge up. That grants you free access to everybody moves a lot faster, including Axel. Attacks come out faster. But that OK meter will actually allow you free use of your special attack, which grants you invincibility frames. but at the charge of the at the expense of the things of the bot gauge, which you then have to fill up. And oh yeah, your charge and special attack can even power up your weapons, which now have health bars, so you don't spam the crap bejesus out of them. And there's one more major change, and this is the main reason why I chose the Japanese Bare Knuckle 3 rather than the US/PAL Streets of Rage 3. Because I was kinda pretty close already just playing Japanese easy mode and keeping this in under an hour. This is a long game. Now you sort of got an inkling on just what one of the big differences and the main reason why I played that game. Play the US version, that pilot, the person sailing that speedboat and dropping off those thugs in Streets of Rage 3, it's Shiva, the first main boss of the game. But in the Japanese version, it's this guy right there, the guy with the pink cap, with the pink jacket and cap, and with the female sign. I'm just gonna... Okay, that's the turkey. That means we're close to the end of the stage. So, after we defeat this guy's not gonna leave the screen, by the way. So, after we defeat these guys, we will fight him. The sailor here basically got scrubbed altogether. So, yeah. This guy was removed from the game, and he's one of the secret fighters. Streets of Rage 3 introduced some secret fighters, so you want to hold the A button, which is the special attack, down throughout this entire sequence. So if you want to guarantee that Ash gets recruited, finish him off with the A button by pressing A, and then just hold it down throughout the entire sequence. And then you will lose some health when you spawn in this area, but at least then you're guaranteed to recruit him. And of course, these chicks went right back to just ducking and playing damsel. And yeah, Shiva, the hardest boss in Streets of Rage 2, or at least some would argue as such, is the first boss of this game. That is definitely this game telling you you're going to be in for quite a rough ride. You know, this game is so bloody difficult that you're better off just playing single player. Because as soon as the second player gets involved, there's gonna be twice as many enemies, and they are far more aggressive than before. And oh yeah, you want to hold the B button and B and start when you finish this guy off, and hold it out all through till the results screen right here. And even past that, I would suppose. Because Shiva's another secret fire to unlock. Here, you bastard. Hurry, the second Ricochet bomb will explode soon. But where is it? At Atlas, so just go in the shopping district. And the reason why they removed the terrorist subplot was because I'm trying to figure out the history lineup, but sometime in the mid '90s, around the same time this game came out, was the World Trade Center bombing, as well as a couple other terrorist activities. Those events seem to always happen when I'm not gonna. But the point was, I think it was seen as poor taste to add the nuclear explosion in Streets of Rage 3, so they took it out and changed the plot. They removed Ash because he was a clear gay stereotype that they didn't want to expose to kids. Ironically enough, Streets of Rage 3 was regraded a T for T rating retroactively, alongside the rest of the trilogy. Now you mention it. And here's the final secret fighter, and the conditions to unlocking them is simple. You want to beat his tamer, and it's the kangaroo named Victi, or simply Rue, and you want to beat his tamer, but keep the kangaroo alive. Come on, let's go. And the tamer likes to be very evasive. You want to try to avoid Victi if possible. If not, just toss him aside so you can continue giving chase to this guy. And that was it. Rue has officially joined our party. I'm gonna cut away for a bit and just kill myself for a bit. And I'm just gonna use save states here. I'm just demonstrating. So just to prove it, here's our first unlockable character, Victi. There's Ash, and then Shiva. And Zon is one of the starting characters. I'm gonna show off Victi, or Rue, first. Rue is basically a speed fighter. Not particularly strong, but deals a ton of damage. Unfortunately, Rue can't pick up weapons, so there's that. Now let's try out Ash. Ash basically is raw power incarnate, but the downside, as well as a gay joke character, but aside from not being able to pick up weapons, he has a janky hitbox. And finally I have Shiva and his infinite combos. He was nerfed to hell from Streets of Rage 2, but he is probably the best fighter in the game by a country mile. Just to demonstrate. But like all the other secret fighters, they can't equip weapons. With all that out of the way, let's continue from where we left off. I proved that I was able to unlock all 3 fighters, and that was the whole reason for that little diversion. So, playing the game like normal from here on out. Zon actually has pretty good range in his attacks, decently fast, decently powerful, but not very fast. But however, his attacks have a lot of startup and end lag. And Skate is the opposite, has janky hitboxes and kinda sucks, and Blaze is the jack of all trades, master of none, just like in Streets of Rage 2. Again, I already played as Blaze in Streets of Rage 1 and Max in Streets of Rage 2, so no need to play as them again. I wanted to use the special on the knife guy because it's the only way to get him to drop it. Thundra? What's with all these godforsaken knives? Of course they go off screen. Interestingly enough, when you throw these guys, they basically never scream. Pick up this turkey. First I gotta lure her out. Oh, come on, Electra. Alright, now we're ready. And Stage 1, we took on the hardest boss of Streets of Rage 2. Stage 2, we take on the hardest boss of Streets of Rage 1, the Return of the Mona Lisa sisters. In Bare Knuckle 3, their names are changed to Yasha and Onahime. I think that's meant to be a Japanese-specific reference. And I got rid of one of the sisters really quickly. Thankfully, they don't have a lot of health, so if you are able to catch up to them in Bare Knuckle 3, they go down without much of a fight. To find the general, come to the construction site in District K. What's that supposed to mean? We have just received news about General Petrov's abduction. We have obtained information that police officer Axel Stone is part of the criminal organization responsible for the kidnapping. What? While the National Police Agency denies it, our sources tell us that the apprehension of Axel Stone is only a matter of time. There's no time for this now. Let's focus on saving the general. Yeah, this is basically the only plot that carried over into Streets of Rage 3. As you know, Streets of Rage 3's music is a far cry from what it was in Streets of Rage 1 in Streets of Rage 2. Like, it's not good. I do like a few of the tracks. They put on there's a greater emphasis that this means that this time it's business. First 2 times was all for pleasure. Now the stakes are higher than ever. I ran out of that. Jeez, just run into this thing already. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell what exactly the hitboxes are. Trying to rearrange myself so I can knock these chicks into the pit. And that's that. Easy to exploit. And we get the Stage 3 sub-boss, which is that tractor. All you have to do is beat it back a bit, and then beat down the walls. And just keep going. And I can't get the controls for running quite down right. Because the Sega Genesis is primarily a 3-button controller, and there's no 6-button interface in this game. Anyways, that's that. You basically have to have some very janky and unresponsive button combinations to do the things you want to do, like roll around. Just keep throwing these people off the ledge. I mean, that's just kind of funny that you can just do that, and it's so easy. I used the special because they were going to gang up on me, and I want to use it for protection. Again, your special grants you invincibility frames. And that's that. What's this? A robot clone. And that's kind of the reason why they just went with the robot clone replacement subplot for Streets of Rage 3 and made that the focus, rather than the terrorist organizations on the loose. Yep, the third boss is called Break, but he's basically a clone of Axel Stone. Well, he is a clone of Axel Stone. But you can tell that he's not human. He's a robot. I mean, Streets of Rage 2 introduced some sci-fi elements, so this ain't too far-fetched. A robot? Hey, old man, I think you're still working for them. The general isn't anywhere in sight. And there was no bomb in the disco either. I knew we shouldn't have trusted a syndicate scientist. Is that so? The translation needs a little work. Think about what you're saying. Sans put his own life in jeopardy by betraying the syndicate. Now he's relying on us. That's... Enough bickering. Look down here instead. Seems those punks are looking for a fight. Yeah, the reason why the translation needs a little work is because... while it's not inaccurate, it seems like there's... because, as you mentioned, my Xenogears Perfect playthrough is... there's a lot of... It's definitely a context-specific issue with Streets of Rage 3. Just like with Xenogears, so Japanese is very context-specific. It's kind of interesting that those cards are an instant death for your enemies, regardless of how much health they have. They must deal a ton of damage. So yeah. Again, I don't... I mean, Streets of Rage 3 introduced a lot of cool concepts, but if this had the 6-button interface built in, I imagine that options like running and dodge rolling would be a lot easier to pull off, because you have to tap the direction you want to go twice, and there's no 8-direction movement with either of those. If you move just a tiny bit down while dashing, you will slow to a crawl. Alright. I think this is the last guy. Well, I was sort of right. Gotta wait for Gloria to go down. Gloria, and I guess I was right. Those cards deal a shit ton of damage. And I'm just gonna play keep away to get her to come out of her location, because these people like to play keep away, which makes this situation last a lot longer. I do believe I could have beaten this game at a much significantly lower time, but the NPCs weren't planning on being too cooperative. Anyways, we are nearing the end of the stage, and nearing the stage 4 boss already. But this is literally just what I like to call the ninja room. Come on, where are you? Alright, I guess I have to walk away from this area then. Why did it take so long for this? At least I took out those ninjas. Quickly grab the turkey. Oop, never mind. Jesus fuck. Guess that might be it. Is that it? Yes, it is. I'm not quite sure who the hardest boss in the game is. It's either this guy or the next guy. Stage 4 boss in Bare Knuckle 3 is called Yamato. I don't remember what they called it in Streets of Rage 3. Turkey in case we might need it. But as you can see, this is all a matter of position. So what I'm going to try to do is try to get close to him so I could deal as much damage as possible. Use that for protection. And now the third and final Yamato. By the way, the twice as many enemies thing I mentioned only really applies to bosses, not... I mean normal encounters, not bosses. There's no way I could avoid that attack, so... He's just really evasive. I'm not gonna take him out that way. But that'll do. A three-pronged attack has come to an end. We have crossed the halfway point. So, you know why they took the general, don't you? How are they planning on using him to bring harm to Wood Oak City? I don't know anything for certain. Is that really the truth? Can you imagine another beam of light engulfing Wood Oak City? A terrible radioactive beam. One which will cause the deaths of untold thousands of people? Well, is that the sort of truth you would prefer to hear? Well then, it's a war they want. They are trying to start a war between the Lima nations, so that they can supply them with Ruckushin. Therefore, the general's opposition to the war made him an obstacle. And that was a very weird cutoff. And there are apparently some secret rooms that we could enter with a jump kick up top, but there's no reason for us to actually go in there. There's no completion criteria involved with discovering the secret areas. Perfect playthrough conditions are simple. You get the good ending. You need to get the good ending and unlock all the secret fighters. No wait, it's unlock all the secret fighters and get the good ending. Now, if you're playing Streets of Rage 3 on easy mode, this will be the final level. But on higher difficulties, you get to play on like normal. This isn't an issue with the Japanese version, as there is no easy mode ending. The game just tells you to play on a higher difficulty. Yeah, I really hate fighting these guys. Makes me wish there was a bottomless pit nearby. Mainly because they block just about every attack you throw at them, unless you grab them first. But at least I killed them. I believe this is the fastest time you fight a good number of these guys. No wait, there's the next stage, but this is the last time that you fight the big fat guys who breathe fire. And if you were to try to throw them, they will crush you, unlike in Streets of Rage 2. Though very much like in Streets of Rage 1. His name's Heart. I noticed that these NPCs all seem to have a theme behind their name. Like the guys with guns are named like gold, silver, and copper and stuff. There's Dragon and Tiger. Seems like the palettes mean very little. Grab that a little prematurely, I know. Hindsight's 20/20. And this guy has a ton of damage. I use that to hopefully get some damage in, but at least I created separation. Just die already. Alright. The throw should finish him off. The male bat has a ton of health. Rooms are sway. And they literally reused the elevator palette but removed the interiors of the rooms behind the door. They reused this from the final level of Streets of Rage 2. Yeah, my metal bat's about to break soon. Thundra? So I'm just getting a little tired is all. I'm recording this late in the evening. Of course I'm getting the shit beat out of me. There's Diamond, Thundra. Didn't mean to grab that right then and there, but oh well. Alright, Mr. X. My, you got here quickly, Axel. Welcome, gentleman and lady. I intended to flesh out my plans before you arrived. You found my efforts entertaining so far. Enough boasting. What have you done with General Petrov? Ah, that matter. You need to be concerned about it. I've already done you the favor of releasing him. Of course, that was our counterfeit general. You son of a bitch! My, please, watch your language. I didn't say that, I disappeared of him. Did I? However, whether you'll see him again or not depends on you. For our first phase, we take out those mob. which will show up in various phases throughout the fight. Like, it's kind of interesting how much Streets of Rage 3 takes from Streets of Rage 1, while what it takes from Streets of Rage 2 is mostly the aesthetics. Although the difference is that the background is the backdrop, is the city backdrop. Slum, huh? Fortunately, oh wait, we got two more bitches to fight. Electra and Electra. Can they, like, fit in Anderson or something? Alright, and I gotta be really careful when dealing with this guy. However, it's very difficult to dodge his attacks, and those candles, believe it or not, can't even be interacted with. Maybe the chair can be interacted with, but I don't know if that's even true. And just like last time, I was able to take him down with the grapple throw. The back throw. Round 5 clear, and if you're playing easy mode Streets of Rage 3, as I said before, this is where your journey ends. Hahaha. Dr. Zan, I have splendid news for you. I've arranged for your research results to be implemented shortly. It is, however, a shame that you won't live to see it. That's because you will perish from poisonous gas with the General. Ha 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 ha. In Streets of Rage 3, the General is Chief of Police. If we destroy the 2 barrier control units in the rooms here, we should be able to rescue the General. Let's go. Alright, not a moment to lose. So yeah, as I was saying in the English release, it's actually the Chief of Police, and they even gave him a new sprite and a new face portrait and everything. Because the General is very clearly a Russian influence. You want to press the down button twice. You want to hit the down button twice, not press it. But hit it with your fist. Gotta take these 2 dipshits down first. Actually went pretty well, all things considered. Time's of the essence. We have to save the General quickly, or we will be locked out of the good ending, and we'll have to settle for what I like to call the bittersweet ending. I just have to beat up the Switch 2, as it is called, doesn't do anything else. And we have to beat these guys again because we won't be able to access the elevator until we do. And now we want to hit the up button just once. This sets us up nicely to deactivate the first switch. And we don't have to go through any major hoops just to Save the general. Alright, but at least I'm able to beat these people down quickly. Just throw them so they're not parrying your every move. But at least we were able to take down the barriers. Now we just need to save the general, which we can release by attacking him to the right. Are you really General Petrov? All things considered, you look well, Ivan. Oh, Gilbert, I'm afraid I'm in the most unprecedented situation. Eh? Know each other? You and Gilbert? Do you know? This is the meaning to discover Ruckershin. We became close friends during our days in the military. That's enough talk. Let's get out of this place. Sorry, I'm just there's a secret elevator here that we can use. Pretty skyline. And this is why, if you're the birthday boy, then by all accounts, anything should go. Kinda interesting that his lapdogs look exactly like Jet from Streets of Rage 2, or at least the palette swaps of Jet. Whereas Jet in Streets of Rage 3 is clearly designed to look nothing like the Joker. You know what's funny? Because DC Comics refuses to address the plot of our current administration. So, huh? Looks like we were about to be attacked and then somebody came by to save us. Yo! Yup, it was Adam. Adam? I think maybe I got a little carried away. I figure I've been on the sidelines long enough. Alright. I'm sorry, I'm trying to stay awake. There's an old factory there that went under a number of years ago. I see. Please protect the general and apprehend the imposter. Roger that, I'll leave the rest up to you. Just remember, I'll never forgive you if you don't come back alive. And here's the final level. Interestingly enough, you can't access... There's two different final levels. If you left the building, decide to leave the building, or you fail to save the general in time, you will get the inconclusive ending, where Shiva's the final boss. But since we successfully saved the general, we can access the true final level, which is all robots and ninjas. Anybody remember the Palladium tabletop RPG? They actually had a subplot called Ninjas and Super Spies, so it's kind of like that. Oh yeah, I forgot these biker guys too. trying to hit these guys is a pain because they actively try to go off screen where you can't hit them. And they're more than fast enough to pull that off. Once again, trying to use invincibility friends because one of them was about to blow up. Avoid those these partial circles on the ground. Those are mines. But we still have these two enemies left. Mazamune. Sephiroth's weapon, huh? And we just toss it aside now that we're heading to the next area. And we get a whole army of Robo X's. Like Robo AZ. Alright, oh yeah, we got 3-star bonuses, which means we can deal the most damage with our specials and our charge attack. Come on, let's get going. Alright, and we took down Silver. Alright, and we want to try to beat this guy down before he fires his gun. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep charge attacking this guy until I get the desired results. Just trying to take out these guys quickly and with very little bloodshed. If any. And so Jet, his name is Rocket. And there's the penultimate boss. A hanger. Alright, so I'm trying to be very careful here. Alright, so for future reference, this is a fairly fast level, all things considered, moving level. However, the bosses take a while to kill. You can't attack this thing while there's sparks on the ground, and even if you could, it would have done 0 damage. Huh? Welcome again, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, because of you, I am now disembodied. Please pardon my unpleasant appearance. Mr. X, your schemes end here. Saved Mr. X's brains. Ha ha ha. Afraid you're too late. My robots have seeded the eliminations with Rakushin bombs. Surely you understand what that means, don't you? If I detonate them, full-scale war is unavailable. Allow me to demonstrate. Mwahahaha. The rocket ship will explode in 3 minutes. We destroy the support systems, so the countdown will stop. Haha. How can you entertain such an absurd fantasy? Well, with careful planning and proper memorizations, and my objective is to simply deal as much damage as I can, as quickly as I can. Quickly yet patiently. And I beat him with plenty of time to spare. Not even a full minute passed. And just like that, I'd beaten Streets of Rage 3 in under an hour. Although we still got about 4.5 minutes of post-game stuff. Losing consciousness. Phew, we made it just in time. Beep, beep, you won't escape alive. Everyone get out of here, this base is gonna blow. So use Axel, none of the doors will open. Please check the computer terminal over there. See if you can unlock the doors. Understood, I'll give it my all. It's useless, the security protocols are too strong. Ah, we're running out of time. Quit whining, Sammy, the phone journal is already in custody. Hey, go, big bro. Oh yeah, I forgot. Skate in the Jap in Bare Knuckle 3 is called Sammy, but in the US, his name is Skate. Honestly, it kind of makes sense that Sammy would be his real name and Skate just a nickname because, well, skates. Wow, Blaze, you looking fine. The Ruckushin calamity born of both wisdom and ignorance has come to an end. The bustle of daily life has wiped the event from everyone's minds. And just like that, the Streets of Rage, we have completed the Streets of Rage trilogy. All on easy mode, but, you know, we achieved a perfect playthrough nonetheless. And that was just a load screen issue. Dun, 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 dun. The Streets of Rage 3, the Streets of Rage theme always kicks ass in every iteration. I can't think of a single iteration of this track that isn't so cool. And it kind of says a lot. This game takes a lot of influence from Western action flicks, but a little influence that might go over your head is also Akira. The bomb going off at the start of the game definitely gives me Akira vibes, and there was a section of the final level that was meant to open up stage 7, where you're driving across the stage on bikes. That was supposed to be in this game, but due to a programming error, it got removed by mistake. You need a cheat code to access it. And I mean, and by a cheat code I mean via like GamePro or something. But that's it. We unlocked all the secret characters. We saved the general, and we beat Robo X within the allotted time. That's basically it. The only way to go any higher is to play the highest, do all of that in the highest difficulty setting. And to accomplish that goal while hitting max score. So, for anyone who wishes to do that, just good luck. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. And poor Zahn. And he doesn't even appear in Streets of Rage 4. Will I do Streets of Rage 4? I don't know. It's modern hardware. And I would probably need to download it. Because I don't know if I can find a physical copy of the game. And I'm kind of weary because there's a lot of remakes and reboots that like to integrate woke bullshit into it. And Streets of Rage 4 definitely kind of gives me some red flags. And some of the creative decisions here and there. But I've heard great things about that game, all things considered. But if you like what you see here, leave a like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. With all that out of the way, this is Mike Gordon signing out.